Welcome to MTN Outdoors.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of MTN Outdoors. I'm once again your guide, Andy Curtis. And the weather's getting a lot nicer for a lot longer stretches of time here in the States, and that means you no longer have a good excuse to not be out here enjoying the great outdoors. So the next time you do that and maybe hike a place like Mount Helena here in the capital city, you could see some of the work being done by our Conservation Corps. And we'll take a look at that and why they're doing it right now ahead of the summer coming up in this week's episode. We'll also see the science behind how some animals can regrow their limbs and how that could help us humans. But first, before we get to those stories, we're going to start today's episode like we have so many other times down in Yellowstone National Park. And they just opened a lot more of their roads ahead of the spring tourist season. MTN's John Shear has our story.
I'm at the top of the Mammoth Terraces here, where these gates, closed since last November, will soon be open to the general public so that there will be access to the interior of the park. Now, that comes with a few caveats.
We're telling a lot of people to remember a lot of it's weather dependent. We're still getting snow, so just be careful and pay attention and be prepared.
Here's an example. The Norris Geyser Basin is a popular place in the springtime, but heavy snow this past winter means it is not opening right now, even though some roads are open. Notice I said some roads. The road from West Yellowstone to Old Faithful and from Mammoth to Madison and Canyon is opening now. On May 5th, the road from Canyon to Lake to the east entrance will open. On May 12th, the roads from Old Faithful and Lake to the south entrance will open, and on May 26th, the road over Mount Washburn opens up. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to see right now.
The wildlife has been phenomenal, and this year compared to other years, I just think is spectacular.
So we have a grizzly bear that's been coming in and feeding on a bison carcass at Blacktail Pond. Also, there's been some wolf sightings in Lamar Valley right now. And last week we were very lucky and had a mountain lion that was visible for 3 days.
Top attractions like that are really important for businesses in Gardner who suffered last summer when June flooding wiped out roads and cut off access to the park until November.
I've been here, this will be my 9th season of having the gallery here in Gardner. And it seems like every other year we have something go wrong and have a bad season, then we have a good season. And so we're hoping this year is a good season to make up for last year.
A little bit of snow falling here at Mammoth is a good reminder of some of the obstacles that people face when they come to the park at this time of year. Park officials tell me that many of the popular springtime hiking trails are closed this season because of the heavy winter snow clogging those trails. Another reminder is to watch out for the weather. Park officials tell me that almost every day for the next week there is snow in the forecast that could lead to some early closures on roads. So watch the forecast and check out the park website. In Mammoth, in Yellowstone National Park, John Shearer, MTN News.
And when you gear up for that next trip, you might be doing so under some new owners at this longtime Montana Outfitters. MTN's Charlie Kleps has more on the base camp going up for sale.
The base camp has been a staple in the Billings community since it opened its doors in 1990. But now, after 50 years of owning this business and the one in Helena, longtime owner Scott Brown is ready to retire. But the good news is, he doesn't see this store going anywhere.
It's been a real pleasure.
The base camp's origins can be traced back to one really bold decision. In 1975, when Scott Brown chose to drop out of college with no real plans for his future. But he noticed a need and took a chance.
I was in Helena painting houses with a friend and noticed Helena didn't have an outdoor store. We got an SBA loan and opened the base camp. That was in 1975. And I still haven't graduated from college.
College graduate or not, Brown's business exploded.
I remember after Christmas, it looked like the store was bare. we literally sold just about everything we had.
That early momentum only grew. Brown and his wife Deb added a second location in 1990. This one back in Scott's hometown of Billings.
We ended up buying this building that we're still in today.
From then on, the base camp has thrived through a global pandemic, recessions, and even big-name stores like Scheels and Ariat coming to town.
I didn't ever feel worried about the store. It just did well from the beginning.
Scott says that's because it fit the Montana lifestyle his loyal customers were after, but he also attributes their success to the staff.
I think because our customers are happy to be here. We sell adventure, we sell fun.
One of those employees who's made a career out of selling fun is Diane Morgan, who's been with the company for 40 years.
I think our one big advantage that we have as a small company is the flexibility, and that's kept us competitive.
48 years later, they've been more than competitive. But Scott says it's now time for some R&R with his wife, Deb. The couple met in, you guessed it, the outdoors, and with retirement on the horizon, that's where they plan to stay.
Very much at peace with it and looking forward to having more time to get outdoors and travel.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Do you hear that? Ah, the relaxing symphony of chainsaws as the Montana Conservation Corps gears up for another summer season. MTN's Tom Buchanan has our story.
If you go hiking on Mount Helena this week, you may hear the distant whirring of chainsaws. And if you follow this trail, you might see some of the important training being done by Montana Conservation Corps.
Chainsaws are crazy powerful little machines and can be super dangerous, and I think having like super thorough instruction and practice and constant feedback is really important to be able to safely use a saw.
The group of MCC team members are learning the ins and outs of safe chainsaw use, and understanding safe chainsaw use is vital to creating a space in which workers are kept as safe as possible.
Creating safe sawyers that can make critical decisions in the field safely while they're supervising their crew members.
Chainsaw use in the field is important for a few reasons, and these MCC team members will take these skills into the field this upcoming summer, with work on projects that help reduce the risk and potential severity of wildfire. The sawyers' work will also help improve habitat. For example, reducing the number of trees by eliminating smaller trees can help healthier trees grow stronger.
It's ensuring safety and also having the knowledge to be able to apply it throughout this season and seasons beyond, empowering folks to continue this career or take skills back home, whether that's for a firewooding project or a career as a wildland firefighter or on a trail crew, so they can continue to build those skills, and give back to the communities that we're working in.
The piles that are formed from the felled and bucked trees are eventually set on fire during prescribed burns. Reporting in Helena, Tom Buchanan, MTN News.
And if that story got your chainsaw motor running, the Helena and Lewis and Clark National Forest needs 3 more students for their Youth Conservation Corps program this summer up in White Sulphur Springs. If you like working outdoors, this summer job could be perfect for you. And it's open to students ages 15 to 18. The job entails maintaining campgrounds, clearing trails, and a lot more. Now, the application deadline was extended to April 30th, so you still have a little bit of time to get it done. You can learn more about the job and how to apply on the Forest Service website. Since we're on the subject of parks, and since we talk about it enough, I figured why not do today's MTN Outdoors trivia question on Yellowstone National Park. So put on those thinking caps, because here we go. What year did Yellowstone become our nation's first national park? This should be a very easy one for everybody watching right now, but just in case you have a friend visiting from out of town or something and you want to impress them, here are your 3 options. Is it A, 1872, B, 1862, or C, 1902? Think about it, maybe ask a close trusted friend, and we'll have your answer when we come back.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Spring is here, and before you know it, we're going to be overrun with tourists once again, clogging up our state and national parks with traffic jams and getting a little too close to our animals. So in honor of that, this week's MTN Outdoors trivia question is all about Yellowstone National Park. And just in case you missed it before the break, here you go one more time. This should be an easy one, but here you go. What year did Yellowstone National Park become our nation's first national park? Is it A, 1872, B, 1862, or C, 1902? Here's a small tidbit of information that could be helpful. Montana became a state in 1889. All right, think about that. And if you answered A, 1872, you're absolutely right. That's because the park is just a little bit older than the Treasure State. And when you head down to the park this spring, in addition to all the cars, you could see some more animal carcasses. That's because winter kill here in the West increased this year. Vanessa Mashanya has our story.
I gotta warn you, the video you're about to watch is not going to be very pretty, but you know, Mother Nature a lot of the time isn't very pretty either. In fact, Mother Nature and this past winter have been immensely cruel to large herbivores across the western United States. And it's gotten so bad for these animals recently that state agencies are actually recommending that the number of hunting licenses given out this year is cut in half. As creeks awaken from their freeze and flashes of green show up in the landscape, winter's toll becomes more visible. A contrast between new life and the impact extreme weather has had on those who couldn't survive.
This year has just been a hard winter where we've had prolonged snow.
Rachel Gonzalez is the public information officer for the Northwest region of Colorado Parks and Wildlife. She tells me a large number of herd animals, elk, deer, pronghorn, have been dying of starvation this winter in areas they've always been able to find food. The reason being heavy packed down snow as deep as 30 inches in some places, preventing herbivores from being able to eat.
Because the conditions in normal winter range have been so severe, it's pushed wildlife even farther west, which is unfortunately no better conditions for them.
Emaciated carcasses line highways across rural Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming as animals have been using roads more for mobility and foraging. There's also been increases in car-animal collisions because of this. Utah has left out pellets for deer, and Colorado has left out hay for elk, trying to prevent wild animals from taking from livestock, like this bull elk had tried to do. While there are no concrete numbers on how many have died yet, all three states have concluded that from the amount of dead tagged animals, the loss is significant. Colorado is recommending hunting licenses be cut this year. Wyoming will release a decision on licenses next week.
Our goal is to help the animals by relieving a little bit of that stress and, you know, hopefully regain those population numbers.
As nature takes, it also gives. Gonzalez says there has been some good that has come out of this situation. The landscape, long impacted by drought, has gotten a chance to recover and rehydrate, while predators like raptors have benefited from the extra food.
It's Mother Nature. Sometimes it's not always happy, but there's always a silver lining to something.
The taking isn't quite over yet, as much as the food remains under crusted over snow, but even if it is a slow melt, it is still welcomed by the animals who managed to escape winter's wrath. Vanessa Mashanya, Scripps News, Craig, Colorado.
And for some animals, a big injury like losing a limb actually isn't that big of a deal. MTN's Tanner Saul shows us how studying those creatures could actually help us humans in the future.
If you get a cut or break a bone, it'll heal. But if you lose an arm, it's unfortunately not coming back. The loss of limbs affects almost 2 million people in the US. Prosthetic limbs are definitely an option for some of those people, but they have limited functionality. One day, these appendages, made primarily of plastic and carbon fiber, could be traded in for your own regenerated limb. And it's all thanks to studying wildlife. In the wild, there's no one to stitch you up, so some animals have evolved to regenerate body parts. The majority of lizards can lose and regrow their tails, starfish can grow a whole new body from a lost limb, and flatworms and hydra can regrow their entire bodies from only a tiny piece of their original selves. But the real MVP goes to a salamander seemingly stuck in metamorphosis. the axolotl. Besides being ridiculously adorable and always having a smile on their face, they are the only vertebrate that can regenerate body parts no matter its age. It can replace entire missing limbs, internal organs, their heart, its spinal cord, and even its neurons and part of its brain. For an axolotl, a very special kind of skin covers the wound, and inside there are a bunch of cells. These cells divide and divide, forming a cone-shaped structure known as blastema. The cells that make up the blastema are thought to be bone, cartilage, muscle, or other cells that de-differentiate or lose their identity. These cells revert back to an earlier developmental stage. As a result, the cells become another cell type that is specialized in carrying out a specific rather than a generalized function. Although this is similar to stem cells, they aren't quite that. Stem cells can become one of many different kinds of cells. As this process grows, it eventually becomes a perfect copy of the lost limb, including nerves and blood vessels that are connected to the rest of the body. Scientists have identified one molecule in axolotls called neuergelin-1 that is essential for the regeneration of limbs, lungs, and possibly hearts. It's not the golden ticket, but a crucial piece to the puzzle. We are still a long way from figuring out how we as people could use this to regrow limbs. But there is a good amount of hope. People are obviously not good at regrowing limbs, but there has been evidence in some children that they can regrow lost fingertips. But this possibility stops once you are fully grown. This is because once we're done growing, the genes that tell our cells to grow new organs are turned off. And trust me, that's a good thing, because otherwise things could get really messy. We don't want to grow a spontaneous foot or a third arm. But this ability does raise the possibility that people could regenerate limbs. We actually share a common ancestor with axolotls that roamed around 350 million years ago. That's beneficial because it means we got many of the same genes from that common ancestor. We just use them differently. Dedicated efforts are being made by scientists to pave the way for transferring such findings to mammals such as mice, meaning that one day we will likely unlock our hidden healing powers, and the millions of people who have suffered limb loss will have a fresh approach to treatment. In Missoula, Tanner Saw, MTN News.
And stick around, everybody, because when we come back, we'll see how 4-H actually can track its history back here to Helena. There's plenty more MTN Outdoors to come right after this.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, and thanks for spending some time with us here at MTN Outdoors. Now, I know you know what 4-H is, and I know you know it's a very influential group for future ag producers all across the country. But did you know that it can trace its history right back here to Helena, Montana? MTN's Ryan Gamboa did a little digging and has our story.
The backbone of Montana is its agriculture heritage, from farming the best wheat to raising the best cattle. But little is known about its 4-H roots. Jessie Field Shambach, crowned the mother of 4-H, used to be a Jefferson School principal, but nobody seems to know who she is. So I set out to find her impact on the Treasure State. It took countless phone calls. Hi, have you ever heard of Jessie Field Shambach? To track down anyone willing to help me. But one phone call led me here to Reader's Alley. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi, Ryan. It's nice to meet you too.
Yes. This is Ellen Baumler, a Helena historian.
It's really sad, you know. 4-H is really big here in Helena. Most kids are involved, or many kids are involved in 4-H, and I don't think that they have any clue that one of their founders, you know, taught school here.
So we hit the ground running.
But the church one there, right there, and you can stop right there. So this is where the story actually starts.
With Jessie's sister Helen Field, former principal at Jefferson School.
Because Jessie's sister became the education director for the Unitarian Church.
The present site of the Grand Street Theater, a progressive Unitarian church home to a large congregation. Helen befriended Clara Hodgen, wife of the church minister, and left her mark when Clara passed away, writing a poem in her memoriam. But Clara left her own legacy in the theater's children programs. It's kind of funny when you say, like, this is a place for children to come and expand their minds.
It is.
Kind of goes along the lines with Jessie Field and
It absolutely does, with both of them, with Jessie and Helen, you know, because they were really very into teaching children to do things that they didn't think they could do.
This idea came to me after spending a summer in southwest Iowa, Page County to narrow it down. And while I was there, I heard countless times that Jessie had a small stint in Helena. Well, with the help of some family friends, we tracked down her great-granddaughter.
She started the early phases of 4-H.
That's Tatum Watkins, Jessie's great-granddaughter. Jessie Field finished her bachelor's degree near the turn of the 20th century. And from there, she began building her resume.
She started teaching in Wisconsin and later as a principal in Montana.
Tatum had some more good news.
Unfortunately, we don't know as much as I would love to know. This morning, I actually tried to research a bit. I did find where that she lived in Helena. I thought that was entertaining.
And that was our next stop. 212 7th Street, about 2 blocks from downtown.
So this is actually the home where Jessie had a room. It would have been just a single room, and the family lived here. It was very, very common in the neighborhood for families to take in single women.
It was a quick 2 years for Jessie replacing her sister when an opening for superintendent in Page County, Iowa took her home.
So I think this was a great stepping stone for her, and I think she realized, unlike a lot of women who weren't career oriented, I think Jessie was very career oriented and wanted to do wonderful things, and she did.
After Jessie left Helena, she immersed herself into the 4-H idea, designing the original 3-H logo for the club and later adding a 4th H on a 4-leaf clover design that we know today. For those that didn't know yesterday,
it's incredible to be related to someone that, even though I never met her, I feel like I know her in some ways. Because every time I do research about her, I feel like I learn something that connects me to her.
Might take a little more pride in that green clover we keep near to our kids' heart.
You know, who knows, maybe I'll even write about her someday.
In Helena, Ryan Gamboa, MTN News.
Well, that should just about do it for us here this week at MTN Outdoors. Thank you, everybody, for spending some time with me. And remember, as the weather gets nicer and you get outside, send me those photos of you recreating here in the great outdoors all across Montana to andy.curtis@ktvh.com. And with that, here's this week's MTN Outdoors brag board. And we got bombarded with pictures of that light show last Sunday night. So thank you to everybody. These are just a few of the great examples that were sent in to us of the northern lights over Helena. Thanks again, everybody, for sending in those photos, and please keep them coming. Thank you for being part of this show. And until next week, stay safe, and I'll see you out there.